Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworms. Let's get started on our cover. Okay guys, we're on the second part of this process video. I told you I was going to print on the back of my pages. I did get them all scanned like I wanted, so they're all scanned and on my computer. The only problem I had was that my printer wouldn't take these. Now the book pages I had no problem with printing on, but these it just didn't work. So what I ended up doing on some of them was just stenciling on the backs of them. I really like the flowers. So I did stenciling on them. And the colors I was using was Gathered Twigs. Let me see. There's the Ground Espresso, which is this one. And then I have I crushed corduroy. So those were the three that I used. I have to say that the Ground Espresso was my favorite. And you can't really tell a difference between this is the crushed corduroy and then this one is the Gathered Twigs. And I just think they got a little too goldish, but I just really prefer this color. So we did several of these in different styles. There's that one in the Ground Espresso in the flowers. And I also used different parts of the stencil, so you can see that they look a little bit, oh no, actually no, I got the same part of the stencil. That's okay. That is okay. I got this one, and that one, I really like that one. We got this one with just the two lines, so there can be writing space in between there. Actually, you could probably write on all of them. And this one, kind of like a crown. And then sides right here. And then that was all that I stenciled. So the other ones, these are just plain right now, but I have a line stencil coming. I can't remember who I saw. Somebody I saw on YouTube had the line stencils, and I got college ruled line stencils. So I will put those on here and draw some lines on these last few. So we got some lined pages. And that's what we're going to do with that. So today we are going to work on our cover. Okay, so I've got these cut out, and what I did was cut 6 by 4.5 because the pages, when they're folded, let me get one of these that's already stenciled. Okay, when it's folded in half, the height is just about right. We've got a little bit of space at the top, and then also a little bit of space at the bottom. Okay, and when you put your pages together, as you know, they start to come out a little bit. So I wanted to make sure, because they're 4 1/4, I think. Let me see. Yeah, they're 4 1/4. And so I went 4 1/2, so that gives me that much space to, so they aren't coming out past the cover, the journal cover. Okay, so I decided to go with the 2.5 inch spine instead of 3. I thought 3 was going to be kind of big for a mini. And what we're going to do is get our cover put together. Now, I'm not sure that I want to use Tyvek tape. Tyvek tape is the easiest, but it's going to take a lot of space. And when I'm collaging the covers, I'm afraid it's not going to adhere as well to the tape. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the masking tape. This time it's not as wide, so we're going to go with the masking tape, I think. And let's just hope for the best. I have heard of people using masking tape. I didn't watch any videos on that, so yeah, I don't know how well it holds, but we're going to try it and we're going to see what happens with that. Now, you want to have space between your spine and your cover, otherwise your cover is not going to open properly. Okay, so we're going to use the masking tape. Okay, so let's pull this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the edge to the table when I'm cutting it. That way, masking tape curls up. And we don't want it curling up. So, there we go. And we're going to get it centered. And I just hope and pray that this masking tape is going to do well. Like I said, I always use Tyvek tape. I trust Tyvek tape. Masking tape, I'm not quite sure. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got a good opening there for this to be able to move back and forth. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and run this over the other side as well. See how it started curling up there? That's what it does. Okay. And this will make your cover very strong. Just like that. Okay, let's get the other side on. And you want about the same amount of space for both of them. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to try not to get the whole piece of tape down there, like I did last time. And when you're putting it on your tape, you can see where your line is. They're a little off, but you know what? That's okay. It's still going to hold it. Now, I'm not sure if I don't think I'm going to do the inside spine with the collaging, because like I said, there is going to be fabric on here. So I think we'll be okay. You really want to make sure that they can meet. Then you know you've got a good amount of space in there. Everyone say squirrel, because I was going to say something and then got distracted from folding my covers together. I try to keep them as lined up as I can so that there's not a whole lot of, that one's not very straight right here, but it's all right. Okay, there is our cover. All right, so now we are going to start with the collaging. So, yesterday, I don't know when you guys are going to see this video, but yesterday, as you guys know, I'm pretty sure I told you I was planning on using hymnal pages. So yesterday, I did this, okay? I took my hymnal pages and I trimmed them all up. Yes, I'm that person. I like the straight edges. And inked all of them. I inked them front and back so they don't have to, flip it over and make sure I got the right side up. This way I can just choose what I want to have on the cover. And I really like the idea of the hymnal pages. One, it is music, but I also like to, the bits of words and stuff that's in the hymnals. So, yes, we're going to start collaging. I'm going to decide what I want as my front. One of these was dinged. This one's dinged up a little bit. I think that's going to be the bottom back cover. So this would be the inside. This would be the outside then. Okay. So what we're going to do is use our Mod Podge and a paintbrush. We need to get a paintbrush over here. Let's get one of the bigger ones. And we're just going to start painting our Mod Podge on and sticking on our pieces. And we're not going to put them all, in the same order. And they're going to be, I'm not going to have any upside down though. I'll tell you that right now. And we're going to do this so where they will go over the edges. So even the edges will be covered. And we're just going to put these in there just however we want to do it, okay? So let's see if I can get my Mod Podge open. No matter how much I clean the ring off, it just builds back up. So what I'm going to do, looks like I need to get some Mod Podge. I'm going to put, you know what, I'm just going to put it on the cover. Let's just put a little bit on the cover, like this. And then we'll just start painting the Mod Podge on. I should have this on something. I don't want to get it all over my table. So we're going to go right up to the spine. And I'm going to get something to put underneath this. I really need something that is easy to clean. I think I will just get, I'm going to pause a second, guys. Okay, I went and got some freezer paper. Let's get this finished up before it starts drying on me. I don't do this very often, you guys, this collaging like this. Okay. So let's start here because we need to I think I need to put some of this in my cap because I don't want to have to keep reaching in there. And we need to, I think I'll just keep it together like that. I'm rethinking the fact that I glued all of it. I don't think I'll do that to the next side, because I don't. That, or I could do this first and then go over the edges, but I didn't put any under there. Because then it's hard to do this part. And I laid it down, that was a mistake. Probably get the, well, I don't actually want to do all the edges. You know what? I need to move this over here. Unless I want to just stay inside of this. I don't know, you guys. I can never make up my mind. I want a little square one. There's a nice square one. You don't want big lumps of glue in there, so just make sure you spread it out. Cover that up. I hope I'm in frame. You know me and my struggle with that. Oopsie. Be careful. I should probably not be doing it this way. I don't know. Because on the Sherlock journal that I did not wrap the pieces around it. That was upside down. See, this part is better because the glue doesn't stick as much to these back sides. I do like how it's coming together though. So lesson 1, let's not, I think I want a long one to make it easier to go over there. Don't glue your whole surface. would be number one. Lesson learned. It's easier to go bit by bit, but I've seen people cover their whole surface, which is why I decided to try it like that. And it's actually better to not. Because when I did the Sherlock journal, I didn't cover my whole area. I did piece by piece like I'm doing now. I just thought we would try it, you know, with and we are going to come back and do this to the inside as well. So all of this will be covered up. All of this on the inside. Okay. A little square one I think would be good here because I got these cut in different sizes and shapes. Got rectangle and square. Because I didn't want all of it to look exactly the same. And maybe another rectangle. Yeah. It really doesn't stick so bad on the... We need this to hang over the bottom and the side. You don't have to be on there perfectly straight, you guys. Could probably... Well, I don't want that poking out, so we're just going to keep doing it like this. I could say I could cut the corners, but cutting the corners, you could end up with something poking out of it, and I don't want that to happen. I'm just going to glue that down right there and fold it over. I should put some gloves on doing this, but you know what? It'll be okay. Now we need one more piece for here. And I think I'm going to do, let's see, would square work in here? Oh yeah, square will work, but probably not add any extra glue to this because it'll be sticking. Okay. Well, there's that one done, and I really do like the way that it is coming together. And then there will be fabric that goes across here. I thought I was going to I might put some down the center just so that if the fabric doesn't show through, I'll have to make sure I use a thicker fabric on this. Yeah, so there's that one. I'm going to get started on the other one. And I think we're just going to use this method of putting it in our cap, because it definitely does not work covering the whole surface. Not for me. I mean, like I said, I've seen people do it that way. So we will just do the one strip across. So let's start here. And you do want to get your glue over your papers too. That just is, kind of acts as a sealer for you. And I want something. Some glue right here, so that can. And I want the staggered effect of the papers too. Okay. So we are going to trying to make sure I stay in frame for you guys too, because it is a process video. You know what, I might as well get this side too, because they're going to go down together. It's a good idea to get the glue on the edges of your chipboard as well. Oh, that one stuck a little bit. It's okay. And this will all be secured when we do this side, so it should work out okay. Okay, next one. Dry, and our next part will be the inside cover, or we'll come back and we'll do down this part if I actually want to go down here, just to kind of I probably will have to anyway, because I'm not sure I want the, I guess the masking tape showing wouldn't be so bad. I will let you know what I decide to do about that, but we may end up, I just don't know how well it's going to stick to that. That looked like it stuck pretty good to that. So we'll see, and I'll let you guys know what I do on that. But that's all we're going to do today. And the next one we'll figure out this and then the inside. That's it, guys. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.